All right, geometry, questions 9 through 16 for chapter 1 test. In the picture below, ray FA and ray FD are opposite rays. All right, so what does that mean? It just means that you know that this line is a straight line, right? So that's what that's saying, that that's a straight line. All lines are straight, but a lot of times people, they like to use the word straight line. So it's a straight angle, definitely. And FC and FE are also opposite rays. So these two lines, right? So FC, oh, that's horrendous, FC and FE, or sorry, DA, right? Those two lines are straight angles. All right, moving on. Use the picture to complete problems 9 through 16. 9 through 16. Name the vertex of angle 4. So I'm going to outline angle 4. And the vertex is where that line meets that line. And that's going to be my answer. It is F. So those two lines intersect at F. So I'm going to say point F. All right, moving on. Question 10. Name the sides of angle CFA. All right, so angle CFA goes C to F, and then it goes F to A. So my sides are those two pieces, those two segments, those two sides. So I'm going to say that my answer is ray FC. The sides are ray FC and ray FA. Angles have two sides, FC and FA, and they meet at vertex F. Moving on to question 11. Identify a right angle that is not angle 3. So we're looking for a right angle that is not, a right angle that is not angle 3. So I'm going to erase this. Angle 3, oh, that guy right there. So I don't want to use this angle. But the good news is because this is a straight angle, then we now know that this angle must be a right angle as well, because these two angles form a linear pair, so they have to add up to 180. So we're going to say that angle is BFA. Angle BFA or AFB, either one. So we'll call angle BFA. And if you wanted to say AFB, that works too. Question number 12. Identify two angles that form a linear pair. Well, you could have done BFA and BFD, because those definitely make a linear pair. I'm looking at angle 4, and angle CFA. I like those two right there. That makes a linear pair. How do you know they're a linear pair? Well, the non-common sides are opposite rays, right? So that side right there and that side right there, they're opposite rays. And then they have a common side, meaning that they're adjacent. So what we're going to do is we're going to say angle 4 and angle CFA. So angle 4 and angle CFA. So write that down, angle 4 and angle CFA. Now that's not the only answer. All right, there is another answer. There's actually quite a few answers on this one here if you really wanted to. Another one would have been angle 1 and angle CFA. All right, and if you wanted to see that right there, angle 1 and angle CFA, notice that FE and FC are opposite rays, right? FC and FE are opposite rays, and then they have a common ray or a common side. And that is the main characteristics actually of a linear pair. Moving on to question 13, identify two angles that are vertical angles. The easy one for me would be angle 4 and angle 1. So that would be the easy one. So I'm going to write that down, angle 4 and angle 1. Angle 4 and angle 1. There is one more, and this one is really hard to see. Most people don't see it. But let me highlight it, and then you can think about it. One of them is angle CFA, right? Angle CFA. The other one, if you take one of the sides of CFA, so CF, and you go with its opposite ray, and you take the other side of CFA, FA, and you find its opposite ray, those green lines right there create the angle that is vertical to CFA. You can't say 2 and 3. You actually have to use its proper name, which is DFE, angle DFE. So I'm going to write that down, angle DFE and angle CFA. All right. Moving on to question number 14. Identify two angles that are supplementary. Two angles that add up to 180. Right here, see this? It says linear pair. If it's a linear pair, it must be supplementary. So I would go with those two angles right there. All right. There are quite a few answers to this one as well. You could say any of the ones from number 12, right? So all of number 12 works. But then you could also include, which is another linear pair, angle DFB, number 12. Let me write, number 12 answers also work, right? But then you can also go with angle DFB. This is a non-traditional one that people don't see, and angle AFB. Those two angles would count as a linear pair, DFB and AFB, right? They have opposite side. They have opposite sides. Their non-common sides are opposite rays, right? FD and FA, and then their common side exists, which means they're adjacent. So that would be the definition of a linear pair. Moving on to question number 15. Identify two angles that are complementary. They got to add up to 90. Now, based on how we answered question 11, angle BFA right there is 90 degrees. Therefore, angle 1 and 2 add up to equal 90. Angle 1 and angle 2. And moving on to the last question, find the measure of all numbered angles if CFA is 155. All right, so this one here is, this guy's a little tricky. So let's see. Let's zoom this thing in just a bit. So we're focusing on just the angle. Looks good. And now let's start just, putting some numbers in. So we'll start with angle CFA is 155. Now I know that CFA and angle 1, these two angles here, that one and this one, they're not congruent, but they add up to 180. So I am going to say that this has to be 25. All right, and then if I keep going, I know that angle 1 and 2 add up to 90 because of question 15, right? They said they were complementary. So I'm going to say that this angle here has to be 65. Angle 3 is 90 degrees, right? Definition of a right angle. I also know this is a angle 1, the 155 and the angle 4, right? Those two have to add up to 180. So this has to be 25. And it's not a mistake that angle 1 and 4 are congruent. We're going to learn in the next chapter that vertical angles are always congruent to each other. And this is questions 9 through 16.